Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of BHS Pulse podcast. I'm your host, Mohammad Wani, and I couldn't be more honored to kick off what we hope becomes a meaningful, lasting platform of voices, thoughts, and change. BHS Pulse. At first, it started as a simple idea, just a few of us talking in the hallways, wanting a space where students could actually speak up, share thoughts, and connect. Burnhall has always been more than just a school, it's a place that shapes who we become. And that legacy still lives on today in everything we do and everyone who's part of this journey. And today, we begin our first conversation, a conversation rooted in the present, shaped by the past, and looking ahead into the future. The topic we are exploring today is understanding the effects of war with Burnhall. And this isn't just about one recent event. Kashmir has been facing years of unrest, from the 2016 turmoil to the abrogation of Article 370 and even recent India Pakistan conflict. But while the media shows us the bigger picture, it often fails us to show the quiet impact it has on schools, teachers, and students. So today we are here to discuss how war really looks like inside a classroom. To dive deeper into this conversation, we have with us none other than our invited guests, respected voices who have stood strong through every chapter of Burnhall's journey. Please welcome Azra Ma'am, Masarat Ma'am, and Asma Ma'am.
Thank you so much. It's
Thank you,
been an
teachers,
honor to
yes,
be
ma'am.
the first guest of Burnhall Pulse, and I hope it will open more avenues for our students to voice their opinions.
Do you have anything to say?
Yes, obviously it is a good initiative taken by our boys. So we wish them all the best to carry on this good work that can voice yours and ours.
Yes, ma'am.
As a teacher today, I really feel privileged and honored that our students are capable of sharing the concerns not only of the Burnhallians but the backgrounds they belong to. It is not the voice of a Hallian only, it will be the voice of a maximum Kashmiris.
Yeah.
We have a small society in Burnhall and it will be the voice of all the Kashmiris. All the best for your initiative.
Thank you, teachers, for sharing your thoughts. It's really encouraging to hear that kind of support from you all. And me being a fellow organizer, it really motivates me to do even better. So let's see what future has to offer. So let's start with our main discussion. So, how do you think years of conflict in Kashmir has shaped the way students experience school and learning?
See, conflict in Kashmir, it has started in 1980s, I suppose.
No,
1989 to be exact, when militancy started in
Yes, ma'am.
Kashmir. See, over the years, there has been an advantage as well as a disadvantage. Disadvantage has been when the schools have closed and the children lost out on the school atmosphere where education just learning ability nahi hai, just books nahi. You get all round development in the school. You learn how to mix up with friends, make new friends. You learn how to take part in debates, sports, or even just reading of books in the libraries. That has been a disadvantage to most of the students of Kashmir Valley.
Yes, ma'am. They were discussed.
They were disconnected from the
yes.
school. But then the advantage is they have learned to become survivors.
Yes, ma'am.
They have learned to survive and how to overcome the difficulties and take every difficulty
Yeah.
as a challenge.
Become resilient.
Yes, to take up it as a challenge and move forward and become survivors, and not only just merely survivors. And most of my students I've seen of Kashmir, they have become success in their way of life. And this conflict has taught them a lot.
Yes, ma'am. Do you have anything to say?
Conflict, obviously, Kashmir is this time also facing the same thing. But over the years, what we have seen, our Kashmiris have become more resilient.
Yes,
They have they have gone through a lot. They have suffered, but they have somehow gained the courage to come back. So this comeback has been shaped by past so many years. Because many of the people they have lost their loved ones. They have gone through very difficult times.
traumas.
Yeah, traumas were there. So they have experienced good and as well as bad things in their life. So it was a challenge for both students as well as a family also, for every Kashmiri, not only the students, because it's not that they have been away from the school, they have been away from all the opportunities which should be given to them. It was their prerogative to get all those things which they deserve. But since the time was so, they were not able to access, they were not having access to all these things. So they were somehow deprived of those things.
Lack of
But still, yeah, lack of opportunities, not only lack of opportunities, but the atmosphere was so fearful that even we also don't dare to go out. Every time there was one or the other thing coming up. But in a way, but students have not given up. They have tried to keep up their focus with their studies. Some of the students, they have really come up with very flying colors. They have not given the hope for tomorrow. So even we are still living in that hope. We will have a better future.
Yes, ma'am. Do you have anything to say?
As my colleagues already pointed out, that wherever there is a conflict, we don't try to find out who is right or who is wrong. We try to point out is what is left after the conflict or after the war. Looking at the repercussions of the conflict or any other trauma that our students have gone through, I can say that they have learned adaptability.
Exactly.
I, being a Kashmiri first, then a survivor also, and then a teacher. For my students, I would say that missing the school is missing their healthy growth.
Exactly.
They can get the resources at home also. It's not a big deal to get a book, to get their books or the resources for a particular subject. But school itself is a miniature of the society where they meet their friends, there are discussions, they open up to their teachers, they share their views, thoughts. There's an atmosphere where we can find that they have a healthy growth.
And even they went out.
They give vent to their thoughts, to their ideas, to their frustrations, whatever their age requires.
Exactly.
So school is the main thing for a student, for a healthy. That was missing because of the conflict.
Yeah. They were held at home. They were not having.
Although they adapted, we are good enough to adapt to the circumstances. Of course, when there is no other way out, our conditions treat us to survive. But missing the school is a big loss for a healthy growth of a child.
Really gives us a perspective. So, looking back, how did students of Burnhall respond academically during the times like 2016 unrest or the abrogation of Article 370?
See, 2016 unrest was the time when the internet was off. I have seen that time being a non-Kashmiri, it was a shock treatment for me to see कि भाई there is no internet. How are the children coping up with it? Especially those students who are in 10th standard and 12th standard. That we teachers who we wanted to guide the students, but we were not able to guide. There was no internet shutdown was there, but still we teachers we found ways to connect with our students. Yeah, students did come to school. They did ask us questions. Somehow overcoming the
Some teachers were giving instructions.
Teachers were always in them.
hiring going on in some of the areas. Abrogation, article abrogation, that time also, though the schools were shut down, but internet facility was not shut down fully like 2016. 2000 article when 2019 abrogation took place, yeah, the students managed to come to school to take the material, but 2016 was worse than that. But still, as I told you, the children learned. They became a success in their life. They learned
They
how
built coping
to,
mechanisms.
Yeah.
yes,
It
coping
is,
mechanism.
where there is will, there is a way.
The
So
children
the
found
will
that.
of the student was to learn, and the will of the teacher was to teach.
And that
Isn't
will
it?
was strong.
Yeah,
Not
will was
just I
strong.
see
With
that
strong will and
is there.
dedication and determination.
That they learned.
Really, both of us, students as well as teachers, we tried our best to be by the side of the students. Internet, really, it's like today it is, tomorrow it won't be. Or for a few hours, it will be like electricity of Jammu and Kashmir, off and on, isn't it?
Yes.
So we don't rely on that. That's why we rely on generators. So who are the generators? You people. You generate such an energy which charges us.
Adding to it, I would like to say that during the conflict, our students were learned enough to grasp the material in 2 or 3 months and get themselves prepared for the examination, board examination. But I would also like to add that there are certain points that cannot be grasped at home. The presence of the teacher, the mentor, or the guide in a school is very important. Like for the 10th and 12th class, we have some tricky points which only a teacher can clarify. And learning in a classroom situation is different. Grasping the material at home within 2 months is a different thing.
Yeah.
I would like to say that we don't have to keep in mind only to clear the exams, but as teachers, our main focus is to check what our students have learned.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think we can learn clearly in a classroom because the questions are raised, the doubts are clarified, which we cannot do at home.
But there was little positive side also.
And the positive side is that
They have
students grasp the material they did.
and they learn to self-study.
They learned self-study, they learned adaptability,
Yeah.
they learned how to take the challenges, how to manage the things.
How to manage that. And
Hats off to all the Kashmiri students.
Yes.
It's not about any Holland. It's about every student of Kashmir. There are students who did not even get the resources, but how well they managed to pass the exams in those particular years, whether it's the unrest of 2019 or the COVID or 2016.
makes us tough.
See, COVID time, at least internet was there.
Yes.
COVID time, internet was there. At least through internet, through online classes, we taught our students, chalo, shortcut methods, how to take this one, find the tricky part of 10th and 12th. But then I remember 2012,
16,
Even ma'am, during that
19.
time, these newborns, those new admittees here, LKG or small kids,
Yes.
they were not able to hold their pencil, but steadily, slowly, and gradually, there also with the help of parents, with the guidance of teachers.
And here I would like
They
to
have
add the
also-
parents also have come to
they
the
have
help.
come.
Yes, ma'am. My very own brother had to prepare for boards during the conflict.
That is what I am saying.
Was a
Self-study
tough
also, it has also given a new platform. Like students, they never used to do self-study, hardly few. But when there was no other ways and means, they have to rely on their own.
Parents also have put in their effort. It has been not only the effort of the teachers
Yes.
of the school,
Parents,
it has
yeah.
been a community effort. Community effort is like
Collectiveness, yeah.
our children should be a success. Parents also worked out, they literally rolled up their sleeves. And teachers also. Connecting to the teachers and all that. मतलब it has been a community effort. Like हमारे बच्चे
कुछ
they
करना
should,
है.
they should do everything and they
Yeah.
should be a success in life.
Yeah.
They should not only learn just basic survival, they should learn how to
Even though
overcome the
that,
challenges.
yeah, even that those times were very depressive. Depression was there, isn't it? There was no hope, like whether we will
Yes, ma'am,
come out
because
of it
students
or
felt
not.
disconnected
Yeah,
with the
I can understand what a hard toil it must have been for the parents
Parents
also to
also.
make their children sit at home and to go through the lessons when the atmosphere outside the home is entirely opposite. So
Exactly.
you have the curiosities, you have something new in the mind. What is going to happen? I would like to see, I would like to watch. How difficult it would have been for the parents to make their children sit and go through the lessons.
Yeah.
Hats off to the parents also.
And how they used to channelize their time at home also.
How difficult it must have been for the parents to
Parents
channelize
as-
their energies.
And not all parents are teachers. Some of them are in the essential services. They could take holiday also. They could put their this one
In that,
apply for leave and sit at home with their student children.
Yeah.
So that's what I said. No, it's
Everybody
a community
has
effort.
As a
contributed.
community
Yeah.
together,
We have
we all
contributed.
have put our bit to make Kashmiri a strong, to make our students successful.
been a part of burnout for over.
More than that.
So yes, ma'am. So you must have taught through internet bans, curfews, and unrest. So what does education during conflict really looks like from your perspective?
Education during conflict. See, one thing is for us teachers also teaching through internet. For the first time operating the Zoom classes.
Exactly. Zoom.
New experience for us.
No, we were not that tech
Though
savvy.
computers came much before you guys were born.
Yes.
Though we knew how to, we had also learned computers. In fact, that time Windows we didn't have. We had to learn the what to say commands. We had to back the commands and all that. But now Windows are user friendly.
We were also taught.
Yeah, we were also taught.
I think Kashmir
We have become students.
We
Because we were learning something new.
all have to do.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that we can connect.
Now we are not dependent on our laptops. In fact, we are dependent on our phones only. How to make the files and send it to our students. How to connect.
I
We have
should
become.
say that education during the conflict was first thing was it was uncertainty for the students. They didn't know whether tomorrow exists for us or not.
Exactly.
What are we going to study for?
Yes, ma'am, we all were rooting
What
for
will be
positive.
the syllabus? Will there be is there going to be the reduction of the syllabus? Why should we study the full portion? Do we have to study, or we are expecting no exams? Maybe
No
we will
clarity was
maybe we will be
Really
promoted on the basis of the previous exams, and most of the students were expecting mass promotions.
Promotions and all.
So the education
also-
system during the conflict gave such uncertainty to the students that they were not ready to study on their own.
Carefree
And it was a carefree attitude. What do we have to study for? School तो अब बंद है. क्यों पढ़ना है? जंग हो रही है. सब खत्म होगा. क्या बनना है? This was, I'm sure, all the students had this apprehension.
And
So
Asma Ma'am-
imagine the toil of teachers when they were back to the school. Imagine the struggle of the parents to get them into the groove again.
And for teachers
So
also.
teachers also.
Because they were not in a condition to sit in the class
Yes, ma'am, they
because
were
for
ready.
over a long period of
What was-
time
And
they
Asma
were
Ma'am,
at
do you
home.
remember how we were correcting the papers on the internet?
Online,
That
exactly.
also we learned.
Yeah.
Matlab, photographs
New
they used to
things.
upload, and that also we learned during the.
We know reliability of
Yes.
these online exams and
Yes,
all.
sir.
How reliable are those exams?
But still
Getting
one
the
thing,
But it was a
students.
good time for students.
At least they were engaged in something.
no,
We
but-
tried our level best to engage the students, but of course, school is the best remedy.
But what happened, what I felt was, see, especially for students who want to study maths and science,
Yes, ma'am.
the basic concept, see, if you want to study maths, you have to not depend on the textbook, you have to know the basic concept.
Concept.
That was missing.
On your teacher.
Yes, only a teacher face to face, he or she can teach.
As
That
I
disadvantage.
would like to mention that had school been not that important, then all of us would have preferred the homeschooling.
Homeschooling.
Yes.
School has its own relevance. It teaches you what education is. You can get literate at home also, that's not a big deal. You can get the online degrees, you can get any degree you want at home. But schooling is education. You learn.
That is what we call it all-round
All
development.
round development since morning till evening. You face challenges, you face questions, you meet different people, you come to know where the world is, what are we up to. So that is where I feel that the healthy grooming of a student is only in a school. Otherwise, we would have preferred for the homeschooling.
Yes, ma'am.
That would have been much comfortable for a student, and that too in a place like Kashmir.
First thing
But-
what was that they have come back from this COVID and after the
Yeah, we all
long
miss
gap.
enthusiasm.
So first thing they said, we miss our friends. We miss our classrooms.
We missed our
We
classroom,
Yes,
teachers.
Even
So
cats,
really, it was very hard.
even
as they
cats
asked
they
to-
missed out. Even the
Yeah.
boys were telling they missed out on the camps.
We
on
have had the
picnics,
experiences
outings.
when students were back to school after the vacations. They even hugged their teachers. We missed you also.
Even they kissed their benches where they used to sit and write. So it was like really, this is the mini world for us. We
See,
really
one thing
explore
is,
our potential and
even
talents
today,
here. We shape ourselves.
even today, I'm not talking about Kashmir. There are some schools outside in other states of India where children rarely carry textbooks or notebooks. They learn through the tabs. But for that also, a child does not want to stay at home.
Yes,
He
ma'am.
says, even on Sunday, I would like to go to school. Matlab, that is the kind of atmosphere he finds in the school. He says, the child says, no, I don't want to sit at home on Sunday. I want to go to school. See, a school provides that kind of a positive atmosphere.
Positive friends are
That was missing during the conflict. Education has suffered badly.
badly.
We do have, I can say, we can have so many literates even in a conflict zone, but we cannot have the educated people
Yes.
if
Yeah.
schools are not there. So
We
need
can
to
have qualified
think
but not
about
educated.
this before giving other avenues, or we have to think that should we ban schooling during the conflicts, or we should try our level best to make
Keep
the
the learning going.
students go to school to bridge the gaps.
That is
There's a saying that education is the first casualty of war. Do you think it holds true for Kashmir?
yes, I do agree. Education is one of the first and most visible casualty in place like Kashmir, physically, socially, and structurally. But it is also one of the most resilient forces, refusing to disappear even under the shadows of curfew and fear.
If you have to ruin any nation, attack your education system.
Close down the school.
Close down the schools, because unless and until we have educated masses, how will the darkness go? If the darkness prevails, ignorant masses will be there. What will be the role of
This education us how to stand out in
Yes,
society.
education teaches us that we have to move towards success, towards better tomorrow.
Yeah.
There are things which can be resolved through other means also. We don't need conflicts for that, right?
Yes,
So I guess if we are attacking the education system of any nation, it is a lot enough to ruin the nation, because we won't be having educated masses, they won't come to know about the history, they won't come to know about the present scenario, even the questions what the conflict is about. So there is no way regarding the solutions, right?
Like Asma Ma'am truly said, if you want to destroy a society, first destroy the
attack
school.
their education.
That is the root cause where a child develops, where a society develops. See, like simple thing. A father principal always says during your exams, don't use unfair means. Why does he say that? Unfair means you come out, you come out as a doctor, engineer, but you are not a true doctor, you are not a true engineer. Copy करके पास होने से,
The technical
yes,
Technical.
use.
Yeah.
Matlab, you want to destroy society, start from the school. If there is a conflict, naturally the schools will be closed and naturally the society will be also destroyed. That is the matlab, basic.
Of the society.
Yes, that is the basic thing. What I feel is school is where a society can develop and become truly educated society.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, mental health is something we rarely talk about. Has Burnhall taken any steps to help students deal with the traumas and stress they have faced over the years?
Yes, Burnhall has taken steps. Like in fact, we have a counselor also in the school, and father has taken steps कि भाई students can go, and teachers also. We teachers also are being taught that they are not problem children. They are children with problems. They may have their problems at home. It is not that by ma'am is a form teacher, the child has to go only to Masarat Ma'am. It is like even if Asma Ma'am is teaching +2 and a child is from 5th and he feels that I can confide with Asma Ma'am, he can go easily. And we teachers, a father always has us training programs where we become not only just by we teach the subject and we are done with it. We are being trained to become counselors. Though there is a designated counselor in the school, but Burnhall has taken such steps that all the teachers of Burnhall,
Because
right from LKG to
child is well-being of the school.
right from LKG to 12,
Yes.
teachers are counselors.
Yeah.
You should see some of the boys going and confiding with some of the male teachers, and we teachers keep the trust factor. We don't keep, bhai, Asma ma'am, he has confided, or me, he has confided, I exchange the notes. No. Whatever the child has told us, it's done. Because sometimes what happens, we may not help, we must not solve the problem, but sometimes telling out a problem itself is a solution in itself. He lightens his heart. And maybe there is some problem at home, or he may be having peer pressure, he may be having
Yeah, that's why teachers
problems. Yes.
Sometimes what as a teacher we observe students, they are not performing well. But we look down into the root. What is the real cause? Why they are just being silent all the time? Why they are not so expressive? Why they are introverts?
Yes.
What is the reason they don't go out like other normal children and play? Why they are sitting quietly? Why they are not responding? Also gives us this sense that we need, he's in need of help. So we as teachers, it's our duty to help such children. So there are families, and over the time, because of this conflict or maybe some other reasons, at their homes, they are not able to express their views and thoughts. They are not even heard sometimes.
Yes.
So they need someone to listen to them. So
As my colleagues have already pointed out, We teachers, we do multitasking. We are not only the teachers, we are their second parents, we are their mentors, we are their guide, we are their friend. There are situations where students don't express themselves to their parents also, not even to their friends. There are some situations apart from the conflict. Every day in the class we find it out, especially with the teenagers. There are different cases, students from different backgrounds, different problems. We as teachers try our level best to lend them air, to listen to them. As Azra Ma'am already said that 50% of the problem is resolved when you lend your ear to the speaker. Once we listen, we can also add a bit to that. We can add a helping hand to that child, and I'm sure we do come up with the solutions. In our school, as far as I know, it is not confined to the counselor only. We all are counselors. We all are teachers. We are the second parents to every child, and I'm sure children are also much more reliable on the teachers. They feel that we are secrets or whatever is there. Our teachers are trustworthy. We can keep the secrets with them.
And there will be some solution for
And there will be solution also, and even sometimes we don't even share the problems with their parents also.
Yeah. And
We
it has
try our little best to resolve the problem.
no, and it has happened that sometimes the child has finished his school. He has finished his 12th standard in Burn Hall. He has left the school. He is in it. But sometimes he comes back and confides, ma'am, I had this problem. What to do?
Yeah,
He trusts
yeah.
us.
They still
Yeah.
have, they still have this bond with the
That bond is
teachers.
there.
Yes, we do have that long-lasting bond with our students, and I'm sure if some of them are listening to this, they will definitely agree with this, that there have been certain circumstances, especially with the 10th, 11th, 12th boys, which they have shared with their teachers, and teachers have kept that in a confident, tried to resolve that in a confident manner.
even their personal things they
Yes.
used to share with the
Yes,
teachers.
ma'am, I
Because
will.
they are looking for a solution.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Same as with the conflict time when they were back to the school. There were different anxieties with the students. Some of them were furious, some of them were completely quiet. So it takes 2-3 months for them to come back to the rhythm, to go along with the stride. It takes us, it's a toil for us also. Because coming back to the school after 3-4 months gap, you can imagine that a child has lost all that rhythm. Yeah. Subah utna, school jana, and then you will find that it takes 3-4 months for them to get back on the track. We have to work on their psyche, what all traumas they have gone during they have faced during the conflict. It could be like in some areas when the conflict is going on, some students have to evacuate from their homes. They have to shift to some other home. Different zones, different comfort zones. They are no more in their comfort zones, I should say. Different homes, different environment for them, and how they struggled to live in those conditions. It is not only about the home, but the circumstances, the people around. One cannot be comfortable with everyone.
yeah, ma'am. Even the families have suffered
Yes,
a lot.
Even
They
so
have
small,
to sell.
even small thing like 10th standard meets board exam. Leave 12th, they would have already come. 10th standard board exam, the whole family comes together. Nahi, abhi karna hai. That itself creates a stress factor. And the child, every teacher, any teacher whom he trusts, sir, ma'am, I have this problem. What to do?
Parents usually they have expectations that our children will do better, so they pressurize them. There is a pressure on students. But when they come to school, they look at a teacher that ye teacher so definitely she is going or he is going to guide me. He is going to take me where my parents want. So
Children are trying to find a solace, a refuge in a teacher.
yeah. That is what. That is the bond, ma'am.
That is the bond between a
With the
teacher
teacher
and
and the student. This is what they cannot get at home. Sitting there for long hours and
This
doing
is how we try to help their mental health, because we want to make such bonds with the children where they feel safe. Once a student feels I'm safe with the teacher, then only we can have those carefree bonds with teachers.
Even ma'am, when boys come to school or when children come to school, they have the platform to explore their talents.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
They will come to know about
So
their
that's what
skills.
BHS Pulse is about.
That is what I am saying. Na? This is the platform.
The
what
energies
you
are
people-
channelized.
Yeah. So your
Properly.
energies are better. Some of the students are doing very good in sports. Some are doing academically good. Some are doing.
Everyone is talented in one way or other.
Some have become good orators.
Yes, ma'am, they were
So
deprived
yeah,
of
different because they get different avenues where they can channelize or where they can find they are better in this field rather than what they were
Yes,
looking
as
for.
ma'am rightly said, we cannot have only the position holders or 90% above those who get the marks.
that's true.
You can get marks sitting at home and you can work hard to get the marks. What about the other capabilities?
Yeah.
Where to channelize that?
See, some of our students, they have become
sports,
so,
orators, debaters, so many other activities.
so our students are doing so well all
And
over.
he
I
is
think.
able to bring it out. He is not able to curb it. He is not able to suppress it. He is able to bring it out. And what better than with teachers?
Huh. The opportunity which school
He can
provides,
speak
I don't
out.
think there
See,
is any other
sometimes a
platform for
child
that.
feels scared in front of the parent.
Yes,
कि भाई
most of
मैं
the
अपने
time.
पापा से कैसे बोलूं?
Even when they stay
does.
away from their parents when they go for the camp first time.
Yes.
Parents are very apprehensive. क्या होगा? मेरे बच्चा कैसे manage करेगा? How he will get up early in the morning? How he will brush? How he will have his breakfast?
But
and how
once with the friends, they learn, they are happy.
They are on their own because they are exploring what they can do. Is it possible for them
They're
to stay
excited.
away from their family, even though they miss their parents? ऐसी बातें we have seen students they are crying, mama की याद आ गई, papa की याद आ गई. But say at the same time they are happy with their friends.
Because of the conflict zone, I believe that today's parent pampers the child a lot.
much,
Maybe
huh?
we were not that much pampered as the children today.
No, it is-
But yes, once they are in a school, they are like any other individual.
would
They
not-
try to coop up.
Asma ma'am, I would not
Parents
call
should-
it pampering. I would call it
Insecurity.
overprotection.
Yeah, they should.
Overprotection.
Parents should do one thing. They should teach their children to fish in troubled waters.
Yes.
Because when they will not give them that courage
ma'am.
and support, they will never come
No,
out
ma'am,
of their
it is
inhibition.
not possible for a parent. It's only a teacher can do it. Because as a parent, we are protective towards. See,
No,
our
that
own
is
kids,
what
we
I
are
am saying.
protective.
No, ma'am, they are becoming
Yes,
overprotective.
and only a
That is
teacher
what.
can do it.
No,
Not the
teacher will
parent
do,
will.
but there should be the consent of the parent as well.
Consent parent will give, but कहीं ना कहीं parent is scared कि भाई मेरे
हाँ.
बच्चे को चोट लगेगी.
हाँ, वही
मेरे बच्चे
चोट
के
है ना
साथ
जब
क्या
वो
होगा?
उनको मौका देंगे, जब वो उनको करेज देंगे. नहीं, I am there. You go, you learn. You first of all, when they learn cycling, they know that they are not able to even go for one paddle also. But the child knows Papa or Mama is there at the back. If I will fall, they are going to pick me up.
Once
So
we
that-
leave him,
yeah,
he will learn
learn.
paddling.
Yeah. So that is what parents they have to be there. They have to take them out of that comfort zones. They don't have to pamper them too much because God is there to take care of everybody. So no, parents they have to play this role. They don't have to be overprotective.
That's how that's true.
That's what we said regarding the mental health. Some have become too quiet, some are too anxious. There are different stress levels, and the teachers have to deal with it, of course.
Yeah.
And I'm sure parents already must be undergoing the tough time at home,
Yes.
dealing with their mood swings. और
Exactly.
उसके बाद जब वो स्कूल आते हैं तो we have
And let them teach them, let parents teach their children from the very beginning. For example, छोटा बच्चा है, how to take a cup of tea, how to hold it first of all.
Yes, ma'am.
When they come back from school, where to put the bag, how to put the uniform. Because the way they are putting
These are the surviving skills.
Yeah.
It's all
This-
about-
These
yeah.
are not the gender roles anymore. These are the surviving
Exactly.
skills. Everybody should
Everybody.
be efficient in
Because
that.
both the parents are working, then they are frustrated how to manage things. So if they will teach their children, they will empower them with so many skills.
Thank you so much, Azra Ma'am, Masarat Ma'am, and Asma Ma'am for being with us today, and more importantly, for speaking with such clarity, honesty, and heart. So, this episode marks the beginning of something meaningful. With BHS Pulse, we are not just starting a podcast, we are starting a conversation. One where students ask some tough questions, explore real life experiences, and give voices to stories that matter. To everyone tuning in, thank you for being a part of this first step. BHS Pulse is your platform too. So let's keep the dialogue going, keep listening, and keep showing up for each other and for the world we are trying to understand. Until next time, I am Mohammad Wani signing off. Stay aware, stay curious, and above all, stay connected. Thank you.